And I leaned over and I'm like, hey, try to close your mouth when you eat. And he just kind of looked at me. And Melissa's like, are you serious? And I was like, wait a minute. I'm giving him good.
I'm like, I can't believe you said that. I don't think he heard.
Okay. What are you laughing at?
Because I never know how you're going to start.
I look over there. She's just cracking up. I'm like, what's about to happen here?
Because I'm like, what's he going to say? We don't plan this.
I was once in a while, but yeah.
Sometimes.
About 90%, not so much. Which is better.
Yeah.
I think it's better. There were times when I was like when I was doing the morning shows, on the radio stations. Like, we would plan so much because you had all these strict rules about, like, you had to get this done within 30 seconds, this done within 2 minutes. And it was just so boring, because you were just trying to fill the time.
Right.
But yet you couldn't get extra fun and extra creative with it, because if you did, then you would go over 30 seconds or a minute,
Yeah.
And it was like, ugh. So.
You hate boring.
Oh, I haven't. Yes. My biggest fear in life is being bored, honestly.
I know.
That is my biggest fear in life.
If you get bored, I'm like, all right, we got to shake things up.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't like boring situations. I don't like boring people. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, life is just so, it's just.
You're here and then you're gone.
You're here. I say it all the time. We're here. We're gone.
Yep.
We're here. We're gone.
It's true.
And the billions and billions of people before us, they haven't figured a way out of that either. They were here. They were gone.
Well, that's why, there's people that plan their lives, and really with autism, you have to do day by day.
Yeah. Well, it's almost hour by hour, right? Because,
there's no planning for us.
And autism aside, I still think I've always kind of lived that way. Like, I can't be around boring people. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know. That's why I've considered before that, like, am I on the spectrum at some point? Because I don't know. I start to get a little bit overwhelmed with boring people, boring situations, boring jobs, boring bosses, boring.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just like, oh God, I kind of get overwhelmed. I just get frustrated.
Or let's talk about chomping. Somebody's sitting by you chomping.
Oh,
it ruined your night.
I get up and we'll go somewhere else.
I know.
This kid last night. Oh my God, we go to like our little neighborhood bar. Don't even really like this bar, but it's so close. We just go.
Yes.
We don't hate it. It's an experience. It's
Right.
what I call a rainy day bar. Like, if it's raining, and there's no point in going to the beach bars. We usually spend most of our time at the beach bars when we go out. This is not a beach bar. Anyway, we're sitting there. It's the mom, it's the dad, it's this kid. He was wearing baseball, right? Weren't they in baseball stuff? They were all chompers, man. They were all chompers. The dad was setting a terrible example by chomping. The kid was chomping. The mom was talking with her mouth full. And
Well, it all starts with the parents.
Oh, it really does. I don't blame the kid.
Yeah.
The dad is horrible table manners. I just go, man, that's just, ooh. Guys like that, I say, man, I hope you own your own company, because there's going to be a point where you're sitting at, a table or sitting at a bar with clients, prospective clients, whatever, and you're going to be eating, and someone's going to go, man, I can't do business with this guy if he eats like that. Right. Or maybe I'm insane and nobody really cares about that, but
I think people care.
I think people care too. I just like, man, if that's how you eat, I'm like, these people were straight out the cave, man.
Oh my gosh.
They were straight out the cave. I'm like, whoa. That, or they haven't eaten in like 30 days. Like, they've been on a 30-day fast, and that was their first. It was the last day of March yesterday. Maybe they did the whole thing of March, and
no, they did not.
No?
You can tell.
Okay. Yes, I think you could tell, by the way. You're brutal, man.
Well, you could tell.
Yeah, we could tell.
If you did a 30-day fast, you'd be able to tell.
So they're walking out, and I think she's carrying the kid, which was a little weird because the kid was kind of too old to be carried.
But he's their only child, it looked like.
Oh, you could definitely tell that too.
Yeah.
So they were walking right by us, and the mom's like yapping at the dad, like, blah, 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 and
she was carrying the kid on her back.
Yeah, it was like a piggyback ride. And so they go by me, and she kind of stops, and I leaned over, and I'm like, hey, try to close your mouth when you eat. And he just kind of looked at me, and Melissa's like, are you serious? And I was like, wait a minute. I'm giving him good.
I'm like, I can't believe you said that. I don't think he heard.
He heard me say something. I don't know if he heard the words.
I don't know if he knew you were telling him that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you're like, close your mouth when you chew.
Try to close your mouth when you chew.
Yeah, you whispered it. But I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well.
You're ridiculous.
Okay, listen, that was nothing but positive advice for that kid's future. His parents aren't going to tell him that, obviously.
No.
How old do you think he was? 8?
No, probably 6.
Okay. Well, for 6 years, they've totally not parented him for a while about eating. And so I was he needed some parental advice. I stepped in.
Well,
totally free of charge. I'm not charging the parents for anything, for the advice or anything.
Cal definitely chomps, but there's no fixing that.
No, this kid eats worse than Cal.
I know.
Yeah. By a mile.
Well,
yeah,
anyways.
By a mile.
There's no rules when it comes to Cal and eating.
Well, not yet. At some point.
Maybe later.
At some point, yeah. But this was just like, it was actually just, I almost thought they were doing it on purpose. Sometimes I think you're paying people to come out with us and sit next to us and chomp. Because it's happened. Yeah, yeah. It's happened so much recently.
It's ridiculous.
I've been like, this is insane. The chompers are following me around. I think I'm done with VIP Mexican because of the chips and salsa. Like, I don't think I can go there. Like, honestly, I don't.
Or the bell. Every time they ring the bell. God, that was the worst. We sat right there.
I'm never going to that outside bar again.
If you pay more than 20% tip, if you give more than a 20% tip, then they ring this bell.
They don't ring it.
And this girl screams.
Oh, my God. Woo! She is so annoying. She is literally the most annoying bartender I've ever. First off, she thinks she's working at Coyote Ugly. Like, she thinks she's at a club. It's not.
I know.
It's the VIP Mexican restaurant, Indian Rocks Beach. Cool spot, good food. But yeah, so they got this bell, which is fine. I get what they're doing with the bell. But we talked about that. If you're sitting there, let's say you take your kids out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did talk about that.
A couple of your kids are autistic.
Yeah.
That bell would totally send kids sideways.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm not one of these guys that's like, hey, you got to stop ringing the bell. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that the cause and effect of that bell. And this particular girl, this bartender, the way she does it, because it's not like you pick the bell up. It's like a big bell. And you just like, in the air. You just like shake it in the air. And she does it, and then she slams the bell back on the bar, and she goes, and I'm like, okay, this is a little much, chick.
Oh my God.
Like, God.
That was a great impression.
Oh my God. It's every time. I'm like, she puts it down. She's like, she does like this little dance. And I'm like, okay, you are literally the most annoying bartender I've ever met my entire life. Like, okay, downtown St. Pete, there's 100 bars you could work out. Downtown Tampa, there's 100 bars you could work out. But like freaking the beach bar, like, I don't know. It's just obnoxious.
Yeah, so there's tables surrounding this outside bar. So yeah, families could be sitting there. And then if you have an autistic child, that would definitely bother them.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying not to, like, see, here's the thing. We can't get in that. And we'll get to World Autism Month in a minute, which today's the first day. I'm not one of these like, oh, you can't do that there because, somebody might be autistic.
Right.
You can't, it's like going to a football game. You can't cheer because somebody in the crowd might be autistic. Like you can't rewire the world like that. You just can't. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's not the way that this goes. I will say though that like, ringing the bell is cool to celebrate the customers that have tipped you well, but the way this girl does it, it's a little extra.
The after effect.
Oh yeah,
that she does.
The little dance
added.
And I'm like, get out of here! Like, stop
You're
it!
Ridiculous.
Get out of here! This is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
like all these people just poured off the beach. She acts like we're in the freaking Ultra Lounge at 1:00 in the morning popping bottles.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
stop it!
I know.
God, know your role. Know where you are. Know your surroundings.
That's hilarious.
Okay, now that we just destroyed a couple of our local bars.
Yeah, World Autism Month.
Yeah, it's April. So it's today. Yep. And then, but tomorrow is actually World Autism Day.
Oh, okay.
Right?
No, April 1st, I think.
I thought the second was the day.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
But it's a month.
There's all this. Oh, let me guess. Yep.
Yeah.
I knew it. God, I'm so good.
Stop it.
Can't say what it is, but I knew it. God, geez, some days you can just sit back and call the shots. Eesh. All right. Yeah, so World Autism, here's the thing. I love the fact that, obviously it's being talked about, celebrated. I actually was on, I think it was Facebook this morning, and there was like this construction company, and they're like, it was LinkedIn, and this construction company's like, hey, you don't think about autism in construction, but they're actually hiring autistic people to expand the construction industry, and incorporate autistic folks in that sector, in that industry. I think that's really cool. And
that's awesome.
Good point by the construction company. Yeah, you don't think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe I think the initial thought would be like, oh, it's too dangerous. But that's not necessarily true.
Well, really, the spectrum is so wide. I met a mom yesterday that has 2 autistic kids, and her kids with autism are definitely different than mine with autism, And just more and more, you just realize how different all the kids are.
Yeah. I will tell you something that should infuriate you, regardless of where you live. And I know we have a lot of people listening in Florida just because we're here and we've been here, and so we know a lot of people and your business and everything. But, like, we're going to see today and tomorrow, and I do think this will happen all over the country, the world, really. You're going to see a lot of these school board candidates that are going to post. They're going to post a graphic, okay, a meme or whatever, about how they support special needs, autism, they're not going to leave the families behind, whatever, because these are the same quacks that every day it's Black History Month. They post a meme, they post a graphic. It's Veterans Day, they post a meme, they post a graphic, right? It's these same quacks. Let me tell you that these people, every day is Autism Day, right? It's every day for the people living it. But these people who just want to celebrate from the sidelines to check the box and get their points, right?
Right.
They're gonna. I'm just telling you, don't fall for that, people. Those people, you go down their Facebook timelines. It's the same thing. Happy so-and-so day. We support you. Happy so-and-so day. We love you. We'll never forget you. Da-da-da. They forget you the other 364 days of the year. Right. They only remember on the day that the day the calendar says it's World Autism Day. Let's celebrate. So I'm just calling it now. We know who these people are. We know what they do. And we're going into midterm elections and stuff. If you care about autism, special needs, IEPs, whatever it is, and I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but that's for you to do the work. But pay attention to those candidates. They're kind of the drive-by candidates. They sort of show up when the calendar tells them to show up. They post when they're supposed to post, and then they just move on. And it's all for show. It's all for show to check the box. So
you're right.
I love World Autism Month. I love World Autism Day. But sometimes I say, gosh, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's every day.
Right.
Yeah. But it's very nice. It's very nice of the companies, especially these big companies that otherwise don't speak about it. It is nice of them to mention it, to incorporate it in their channels, their media channels and stuff. It is very nice, especially I think too to new parents. You got to understand there's a lot of parents that today or tomorrow, is going to be their first autism day as a parent of an autistic child. They just got their diagnosis the last 6 to 10 months ago. Yeah. And that's the first day that they're going to see it on their timeline. You got to kind of remember that. They're going to see it on the timeline and go, wow, I'm a part of this now.
Right.
So I think it is very cool for the new parents.
I think it's more about support, support and spreading awareness, acceptance, all of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get that. I just, like I said, I always have to throw out my little disclaimer about political candidates who just want to jump on when it's, convenient.
Right.
Just because it infuriates me because we pay their salaries. So we should expect more.
Right.
From them.
Right.
Well,
especially considering we're going to have our IEP meeting and a lot of the stuff that people get upset about is because of the school board.
In a few hours, we have our IEP.
That's probably why my stomach hurts.
Oh, come on. Don't do this to yourself. This is a waste of time. Seriously.
Well, I'm letting you talk.
Yeah. You can't listen, don't allow a broken system to break you down even more. I thought about that last night before I went to bed. I said, cannot allow a broken system to break you down. It's not even a strong system. It's broken. It's all screwed up.
It is.
So don't allow that to break you down. It doesn't have that power,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's not. And I try to tell you this too. They can't take anything away from them. At the worst, everything stays the same.
I know, it's fine.
Yeah. So, Monday's going to come. And
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to shake it up a little bit. Don't worry about it. I got it.
I know you got it.
I'll take the, it's like when the SWAT team goes in and the first guy's got that shield. I'm going in. I'm not even going to carry the shield.
I know. You got me.
Yeah. Got you. Got everybody. I'm doing it for all the parents, actually. To be honest with you, I am.
Good.
Yeah. Because I just figure, here's what I'm going to do for y'all. For any of y'all got IEPs coming up in Pinellas in the next 3 to 6 months, they're going to get off the phone and go, hey, that was crazy. There's nothing like that Mark guy back on April 1st.
But you have to be careful because sometimes,
don't.
No,
I'm not going to live in fear. No. I'm not doing I got to be careful thing. Remember in the beginning when I said I had a fear of being bored?
Oh, I know.
Oh, we're having fun today. I might start mooing like a cow, clucking like a chicken.
What?
Yeah. I might, by the end of this call, I might have my own IEP.
Stop it.
But seriously, I mean, they
no, you should not live in fear. Living in
in
fear does nothing.
Listen, they're a factory of paperwork, right? They're just it's like an assembly line. They're just processing paperwork. Right. Today we're going to do things a little different. It's fine.
Okay.
So it's fine.
Well, today's Funyuns Friday.
Oh man, ever since we started doing Funyuns Friday, the weeks fly by. Next thing I know, it's Funyuns Friday.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so last week we had a record-setting amount
of people
for Funyuns Friday. So you can go to dailyautism.com. So we send out a bag of Funyuns in honor. So it's Cal's favorite snack, right? Which I know we're not going to win Parents of the Year for allowing Funyuns to be our kid's favorite snack, but he has decided he loves it.
Right.
A lot of the Spectrum kids, the pungent, very strong flavors and stuff. So Funyuns, onions.
For his sensory, it's the crunchy
onions, all of it. Yeah, he's really into it. So we send out a bag every Friday. All you have to do is interact with. We'll put up a post here in a few minutes on Facebook and Instagram, and I do it on LinkedIn too. And just interact with. The more you interact with it, the more chances you have to win. And we mail you a big bag of Funyuns. It's Funyuns Friday.
Yep. Like is 1, comment is 1, and share is 2.
Yep.
Entries.
Yep. So you can get up to 4 entries. For Funyuns Friday.
And I handwrite them all.
We'll do the drawing tomorrow and probably announce it on Sunday. But dailyautism.com, that is how you can link to our Facebook and Instagram channel, see our reels, see our videos, see our stories. We posted a really cool, I thought it was cool, a video of Cal playing it. We rock the Spectrum. He loves that place, one of his favorite spots.
Yes.
Great thing about that place, too, is he can play with his siblings, but it's a different environment than the house. All the crash mats and the...
Yeah.
What's that thing?
Zip line.
The zip line.
He loves to see the kids do it.
Oh, my God.
He's done it like once. Like I've helped him, but...
He likes to be chased on it. Like he gets a head start. And then I saw Charlie chase him on the zip line, and he was laughing so hard that he fell.
I know. Yeah, it's also open to the public.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of special needs stuff.
Well, and that's why I really like it, though, is it's kind of an integrated where, it's he's able to kind of blend with all, people of the community. So it's cool spot.
The craziest thing is I was pregnant with him and I took my kids there to play because an indoor play place on a rainy day, and I didn't even know what the Spectrum was, and then he ended up getting diagnosed, and that's when I really learned about it.
I remember you told me we rock the Spectrum. I'm like, what does that mean?
I never even heard about it. I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about it.
Well, we just had no clue.
No.
That's why I think when we do this podcast, most of the feedback we get is really cool feedback, and I just assume everyone's being honest because, why lie?
Well, why would people take the time
to
give feedback?
Yeah. But, we have gotten, I would say, 5 to 7% of, your guys' tone is a little, irreverent. It's a little kind of strange for parents of an autistic kid, and it's sort of, and then I'll kind of cut them off and be like, you mean it's sort of just real? It's like us being us? Like we're just being us? I'm like, and isn't that what you're screaming about? Don't you just want to be you and you don't want people to tell you what to do? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, guess what? If you get to be you, then we get to be us. And, and that's just it. So pound sand.
And why are we supposed to be a certain way?
Yeah. Why are you allowed to be however you are, but I have to fit in this box that you create? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are we supposed to be?
By the way, just because I'm an autistic dad or a dad of an autistic kid doesn't mean that I have to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get out of here. I'm not, whatever the 1% of this little interesting little world is that you can just walk around and you can do whatever you want in the world because you, I don't know, have labeled yourself something. Stop. And by the way, being like a high functioning autistic adult is much different than being a parent not on the spectrum who is parenting an autistic kid. Like, I hate to tell you, we are not the same. Like, we are not in the same group. It is hard for us to understand you, and I realize and respect it's hard for you to understand us. And I respect those differences, and that's why I don't tell you to act a certain way. I respect who you are. I appreciate who you are. And
and those people are blending into the world. I mean, we don't even know what his world is going to look like.
Yeah.
Then,
like we do get some
messages,
and it's kind of like you're just doing exactly what you said you don't want to be done to the world. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You don't have this entitlement to boss people around and tell them what to say and how to say it and when to say it and when to be quiet. Like,
exactly.
Get out of here. And then half of these people that do it, it's like, I look at your message, I'm like, you're not even doing anything to really help the cause. You're just complaining about the world. Like, I mean, good luck getting anything done with that.
Well, you're like, we shouldn't sit down and shut up. And I'm like, I just want to be louder, like, because I want to spread awareness and acceptance, because I did not know what the spectrum was.
I know.
So I want to teach people that don't know, because my kid is going to grow up to be in this world. And I think people need to understand how he is.
I told a guy the other day, I'm like, hey, man, let me just be real. Like, I'm sorry, I'm confused as hell. I did. I said, I'm confused as hell. I'm like, there are days I don't know what's going on. There are days I'm trying to figure it out. There are days I think I probably research too much. Then some days I feel guilty. I research too little. There are days I want to know why it happened, and there are days I don't care why it happened. And you approach the world different because you understand you, and I think that's awesome that you have clarity in who you are. But when you start telling me how I need to say things or how I not, my tone, just stop wasting your time, right? Like, I mean, I'm glad that you figured out who you are. Like, that's awesome. I mean, it really is awesome. And because of that, like, you're probably a real gift to the world. You can offer the world something. But some of these people just roll around all these social platforms just telling you to shut up and how you need to say it,
Right.
And don't share the puzzle piece. It's offensive. And don't say it like this. Don't say it like, I mean, God, stop. Like, none people like that don't change anything. They just get marked as complainers, and then in 30 years they turn around and they go, oh, I'm surrounded by a bunch of complainers because I'm a complainer. It all just, you attract what you put out. It's just kind of weird. Like,
well, and those people, like I said, are living in the world. Like, they're probably functioning enough to live on their own and stuff. And one thing I ask autistic parents when I meet them is, do you think so-and-so is going to be living with you the rest of your life? Because I just like to know how people feel about it. And they're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, academically, they're good. And this way they're good, but I don't know. And I really can't even tell you what the next month is going to look like, the next year. So it's just being a parent to an autistic child is different than being an adult, like you said.
I had a guy reach out to me
in the world,
when we got that message. I don't know. This is probably like 5, 6, 7 episodes ago. We read the person's email that sent us this long email of like, it was basically live reactions to our podcast. Like, they were listening to it and then also like live reacting. And I got a message from a guy and he says, hey, I am autistic. He says, admittedly high functioning, but I do, I have a diagnosis and everything. And he said, I spent years of my life when I first got on social media correcting everybody for everything. And he said, I actually realized after years it was making me miserable because I thought I was doing, I was going to change these people this, and then I realized that it was just consuming my life. And he said, I think it's great that you read the email, offered the person to come on the podcast, which we did several times, and then also didn't back down from your stance on it.
Right.
Because he said, I feel like I caused people to like shut the door, hide, and stop speaking about autism because he said he would send mean messages. And he says, I probably like convinced people to stop talking about it.
But then it's only hurting the community of autism.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Why do you want people to not know about it?
But these new parents who get this diagnosis, I'm telling you, I've talked to them, I've seen them. They'll share a puzzle piece, right? Like the puzzle piece thing. And they'll be like, I got, we knew something was going on. We got to work on diagnosis and pediatrician and everything. And today we were diagnosed. We're a part of the community. We love our child and everything. Literally the first post. Well, first thing you need to know is that's offensive. That puzzle piece is offensive. I'm like, are you serious? That's really inclusive, welcoming. Get out of here. You're a fraud. I mean, you cannot meet people at the door with that tone. Like, you can't meet people at the door with a freaking pitchfork, with your crazy made up that you're crying because of a puzzle piece. Like, that is not right. And by the way, that puzzle piece, okay, maybe it's not for, maybe it is for parents who are parenting an autistic kid. Okay, maybe it offends you. Fine. Be offended. It's fine. Being offended is free of charge. You're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you get to change everything.
Right.
You know, maybe there are parents like us who look at the puzzle piece and go, well, that is interesting to us.
Yeah, it means something to me.
And by the way, Cal loves puzzle pieces.
Right.
So he likes it. I mean, you know,
I know, but yeah, that would be very upsetting if you were a new parent or a parent that just found out, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why the dog's barking, but I have to go take him to the vet, actually.
It's because
he has to go get shots.
Lolo's here. Okay, real quick. We mentioned Funyuns Friday, so we're good.
Yep.
DailyAutism.com. Go get the link of Aspire Nutrition, which has absolutely helped out with Cal and his little sensitive autism tummy. Melissa will tell you all about his diapers now after Aspire Nutrition and these healthy diapers with the BioHeal Pro, the 26 billion colony forming units of the probiotic formula, and the entire family. I mean, we're all on the multis. We're taking the BioHeal Pro. We're getting all of the probiotics. I'm on the detox. I feel like I'm just getting back to it, man. Actually, when I got on these, this is what's so funny. I started taking all these nutrients, and it inspired me to go buy a weighted vest. I'm now working out in a weighted vest. My family thinks I'm totally insane, but I'm like, I can do it.
I don't know how you're doing it every day, but you're doing it.
I love it, man. All these toxins are like getting out of my body. It's awesome. DailyAutism.com. You can grab the link to Aspire Nutrition Nutrients. You can also see the reels, the videos that we put up on Instagram and Facebook. I hope today wasn't a Debbie Downer episode. I feel like we unloaded on some people.
Well, we were just explaining everything. We're not trying to be negative, and I don't think negativity is good for anyone, you know?
I think that's the overall point is, you know, okay, so we're kicking off World Autism Month and everything like that. It's like when you talk about inclusive and diversity and stuff, well, then actually be that and actually include people who may be a little bit different than you about the same subject. Don't slam the door on people who maybe have a slightly different perspective. Because if you subscribe to the whole thing, if you meet one person with autism, then you've only met one person with autism. Well, then actually live that and respect it, right?
Right.
All right.
I think that's good.
You think that's good? Okay, I'm glad you think that's good. All right. Remember, go to our social channels for Funyuns Friday.
Happy Friday.
All right. Happy Funyuns Friday.